Good morning, Burgessville Baptist. Today we're going to be reading from Galatians. But before we get to Galatians, I'm going to give you a little tip. If you're ever looking for the epistles, a good way to find them is to use the acronym General Electric Power Company. So we know the New Testament starts out with the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and then Acts and Romans. And after that, it's usually hard to remember. So if you want to remember it, first remember that the first two are easy, the first and second Corinthians. Then use the acronym General Electric Power Company for Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, General Electric Power Company, and then they're bookended by 1st and 2nd Thessalonians. So let's turn to Galatians today. Let's use our little technique here. Go through the Gospels, Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, then Galatians. All right, starting at chapter 4, verses 1 to 11. I mean that the heir, as long as he is a child, is no different from a slave, though he is the owner of everything. But he is under guardians and managers until the date set by his father. In the same way, we also, when we were children, were enslaved to the elementary principles of the world. But when the fullness of time had come, God sent forth his Son, born of a woman, born under law, to redeem those who were under the law, so that we might receive adoptions as sons. And because you are sons, God has sent the Spirit of his Son into our hearts, crying, Abba, Father. So you are no longer a slave, but a son. And if a son, then an heir through God. Formerly, when you did not know God, you were enslaved to those that by nature are not God's. But now that you have come to know God, or rather to be known by God, how can you turn back again to the weak and worthless elementary principles of the world, whose slaves you want to be once more? You observe days and months and seasons and years. Am I afraid that I have labored over you in vain? Galatians chapter 4, verses 1 to 11.